This couple carried out the largest Ponzi scheme in Nigeria. CBEX, they learn from these people.
This is the best part of my
Their
day.
scam was estimated at over 11.75 billion naira. Now, the story begins in 2021. Actually, it dates back to 2015 when Bamishe Ajetumobi began an investment company known as Real Emerging Global Holding Company Limited. He organized a group of small investors and asked them to pool resources together, much like what we have today about just like mutual funds. So he gathered some friends, some family members who pooled resources together, and he started an investment company. And that company began to lend money to petty traders, Nigerians, from 10,000 to 100,000. Emerging Global was lending out microloans at an interest rate of about 20 to 30% per annum. With time, Emerging Global grew and more investors came in to the scene. A lot of people invested in the company, some to about 100 million. In fact, the story has it that a couple who were part of the group that filed a class action lawsuit against the company invested over 100 million naira, 100 million by husband and wife. By 2021, trouble started. The company could no longer come through with the promised return on investment to investors. It was paying investors between 30% to 40% return on investment. Because the company was not getting new investors, borrowers were defaulting on their loans. There was trouble with Real Emerging Holding Company Limited. By 2022, the bubble burst. Real Emerging Global Limited, owned by Bamishe Ajetumobi and his wife Elizabeth, recalculated investors' interest from 20% to 10%, to 7%, promising that they will be timely, they will be paid timely, and they are on the agreed terms. The investors agreed and continued to hope for a return on their investment, an interest, or the return of their lump sum. By 2023, the whole place scattered. Real Emerging could not come through with their promise of promised investment. The Ajetumobis became unavailable, became unreachable. The investors were panicking. By this time, the company had collected over 10 billion naira from investors and was no longer coming through with either payment of interest or payment of the lump sum. What followed was a drama. What followed was what actually happens with Ponzi schemes. Bamishe and his wife ran out of Nigeria. In fact, the story has it that they had already secured citizenship from other countries through investment opportunities. So the investors reported the matter to the police, and the police began to track the Bamishes, the Ajetumobis. Bamishe, who was an ex-banker with one of the top banks in Nigeria, was arrested in Sierra Leone, trying to escape to the UK. He was repatriated back to Nigeria. Him and his wife faced trial. About 27 investors joined together and sued the couple for over 11 billion naira. This is the biggest scam in Nigeria's history. My name is Pascal, and I tell stories like this. Subscribe and join me for more.